some special articles. We have two special articles I want us to handle very fast before we embark on our main topic. Here we are. We have article A. So we are going to look at words that go with article A. Special words that go with article A. This one shall be European. We have European. We have uniform, university, union, then Ugandan. Now, when you are using these words, for example, if an examiner sets any number using these words, please, before them, we should supply article A. Now, these words begin with a vowel letter, but they will take article A, depending on the way they are placed, which words appear before the article and then after the article. So therefore, when you come across a sentence that has European, that has that has uniform, university, unity, union, Ugandan, and universal. So the article that we shall take shall be article A. And therefore we shall rightly say a European teacher, a university student. My daddy bought a U. My mommy bought a uniform for me. So this is a unit. Can you please help me with a unit of airtime? Then we have got Kalibatanya is a Ugandan musician. We have got Mr. X is a universal soldier. Therefore, these words take article A. We also have slightly some other article called article an. Whenever we are using article an, there are some special words which take article an. So surprising that these words begin with a consonant letter. Yet we know that all consonant letters take article an in singular. But this time round, these words begin with the consonant letters, but they take article an. Here we go. We have words like honor, honest, hour, air, heiress, honorable, so we have honor, honest, hour, heir, heiress, honorable. These words here, much as they begin with H, which is a consonant letter, they do take article an. Reason being, letter H is kept silent. We don't pronounce letter H. Therefore, what do? We begin sounding these words onto the next letter, which is a vowel letter. Take for instance, the word honor, honest, hour, and honorable. They have got letter next as letter O, which is a vowel letter. And then heir and heiress have got letter E, which is a vowel letter. Therefore, we don't sound these the first letter, which is H. We go on to the second letter, which is a vowel letter. That's why, my good students, those words with the letter H, the H is kept silent, and we begin sounding those words onto the next letter. That's why these words take article and. Let me hope everybody has got that trick. So if they say, my uncle is dash honorable member of parliament, please supply article and say, my uncle is an honorable member of parliament. My brother, when we go back to article my brother is dash university student. Please, they want you to just put there, my brother is a university student. So that was a brief look up at what you call the usage of some special articles. Like I said, for today, we are going to look at the 8 parts of speech. You know speech. We are looking at words that make us speak what we speak, and that's why we call them the 8 parts of speech. You know, English is a language and a medium of communication. We have English as a language, that is as a medium of communication, and English as a subject. So whenever we are handling English, we should look at these 2 aspects. When we are handling it as a language, and then we are handling it as we are handling it as a subject. So right now, we are using it as both a medium of communication, and then that is as a language, and then as a subject. Thank you so much. So we are saying the 8 parts of speech. We know the word speech is a noun that comes from the verb to speak. So we are looking at the 8 parts of speech. We are saying these are the combination of whatever we speak in English. What makes up the English language? If you want to master English and pass it well successfully, you must know the 8 parts of speech. And the 8 parts of speech make up the grammar part of the syllabus of English. Therefore, grammar is that part where we form words. So we are going to look at formation of different words in different parts. So one of them, that is one, we have nouns. We have pronouns. We have verbs. We have adverbs. We have adjectives. We have prepositions. Prepositions. We have conjunctions, interjections, so these are what we call the 8 parts of speech. So my good students out there at home, I know you are watching Select and Learn on STV, where learning has been made. So it's simple, seated at home, watching what is going on. Probably this one will keep us in touch with our books. So learning still continues. Now we'll have the 8 parts of speech. Nouns, pronouns, verbs, adverbs, adjectives, prepositions, conjunctions, and interjections. The articles are not part of the 8 parts of speech, please. No, that was just by the way to get alerted on how exams are set. Now, these are the parts of speech we are saying. We shall look at some of them, and then we look at the gist. I wanted to center on what we call the conjunctions, which you call the structured numbers. How do we use some of the structures to make those 20 numbers easier for you to be done? That is, the structured numbers are in subsection 2 of the English paper. Remember, the English paper has 2 sections, section A and section B. Each section, each of the sections, each of them carries 50 marks. But section A has 2 parts. Subsection 1, numbers ranging from 1 to 30, and then subsection 2, numbers ranging from 31 up to 50. So we are going to look at how best can we handle subsection 2, numbers 31 up to 50. Now we have what we call nouns. A noun is a name given to anything, or a noun is a name of anything. And nouns, as just to take you through something simple, nouns are grouped into various categories. We have what we call abstract nouns. We have collective nouns. We have collective noun, abstract nouns. We also have common nouns. We have common nouns are also grouped in singular and plural. Then we have common. We have countable and uncountable nouns. All of those are categories of nouns. Then when you expound on nouns, we have what we call plural of nouns. And then we have what we call formation of nouns. I know you out there, your teachers handled those nouns with you. And you looked at what you called plurals of nouns. So what you need to know are the principles of those plurals of nouns and their formation. Now, when we go to nouns, we have what we call abstract nouns. Just precisely abstract nouns. These nouns these are nouns that express feelings. We cannot touch. We cannot touch. We cannot see. We cannot see. These are expression of ideas, of feelings, things that are not tangible. Those are called abstract nouns. The word abstract is something that you cannot touch. It is just in memory. You have it. That is it's an idea. It is it's not tangible. So these are called abstract nouns. So we have abstract nouns such as we can have sickness. Sickness. We just have a feeling. You cannot see someone is sick, but have that. So this is an abstract noun. So we need to know abstract nouns. Abstract nouns. Most of the abstract nouns are formed in this way. Most of them end in this way. So we have most of them ending with the ty. We have sm. We have meant. Those end with the meant. We have others that end with the th. Others that end with the ty. That end with y. Then we have those ones that end with the ness. We have those that end with the e, n, c, e. We have those that end with the a, n, c, e. So most of the abstract nouns end in one of these aspects. Therefore, when you are looking at nouns, more so formation of nouns, especially when we come to part 1, subsection 1, where we are given words in brackets to form some of those words. Get to know that some abstract nouns may end with the ty, for example, honest. Some abstract noun may end with sm, absenteeism. Some abstract noun may end with meant. movement, encroachment, announcement, advertisement. So those are abstract nouns. Some abstract noun can end with th, truth, beneath. So we have others ending with y, some others ending with ness, others ending with ence or ance. Take an example of sick. We can get sickness. Kind, we can get kindness. Look at a word like smart, smartness. Look at the word like clean, cleanliness. So such formations, you will have got what you call abstract nouns. Now, there are those of ence ending and then ance ending. Important, importance. Look at innocent, innocence. Intelligent, intelligence. So all of those I know out there you've ever seen and ever formed them. So you were forming what you call abstract nouns. I want to give you just a few of the nouns that are tested which are abstract. We shall look at. So we have the word like hinder, resemble, remember, expel, repel, repel, maintain, maintain, abstain, abstain. So these are verbs. If we want to form abstract nouns, we have some steps we need to do. Okay? For example, if you look at hinder, look at remember there. What we shall do, we shall drop letter E and extend R, then add A-N-C-E. And so shall we do that with remember. Drop letter E, extend the R, add A-N-C-E. And we shall have the word like hindrance. Hindrance. We shall have remembrance. Remembrance. We shall have resemble. We shall drop the E and make it A-N-C-E. Resemble. We shall have resemblance. We shall have resemblance. Then we come to expel and repel. Expel and repel, we shall change the E into letter U. And so we shall have expulsion, expulsion, and then repel will be repulsion. So these are abstract noun. Hinder, we shall drop the E, extend the R, add A-N-C-E, hindrance. Remember, the same, drop the E, extend R, add A-N-C-E. Then resemble, resemblance. Drop the E, make it A, add A-N-C-E. Then expulsion. Change the E into letter U. And so is repulsion. So these are abstract nouns formed from these verbs. We look at abstain and maintain. Maintain shall be maintenance. It shall be maintenance. What we do, the AI changes to E and we have maintenance. And this shall be the word. maintenance. And then we shall abstain, the same story. The A will become I and say abstinence. Abstinence. So this is abstain, abstinence. Maintain, maintenance. So we don't have maintenance. We have maintenance, abstinence, then hindrance, remembrance, resemblance, repulsion, expulsion. We have another confusing word, that is increase. And so we shall have increment. The increase, the ASE cancels, and then we add ment. The word is increase here. Therefore, I'm saying the ASE cancel out, and then we add ment. That one becomes increment. So I wish us to go for a short while break. When we return, we are going to expound more on the 8 parts of speech. Thank you so much.
Schools have been shut down for 32 days due to coronavirus pandemic. To keep your kids safe and educated, you don't have to get into your pockets. STV brings teachers to your living room. Select and learn with STV.
Hey guys, you're watching STV. Select for fun.
Stay home, stay safe. Brought to you by SK Mbuga Foundation, Africa.
Amanya gange nze omombe janva nonje. Bannayuganda bannange, ekirwadde kya COVID-19 kyaddala. Naye tukyalina essuubi era n'obusobozi obulwanyisa akawuka aka coronavirus akatambuza obulwadde buno. Nga tukola tutya? Nga tugoberera ebyo ebiragiro ebyatuweereddwa omukulembeze w'eggwanga ko ne ministry ey'ebyobulamu. Tufuba okulaba nti twekuumira awaka okuggyako abo abalina emirimu egibeetaagisa okukola buli lunaku. Tukuume abaana baffe ffe ababalina, tobatambuza, tobakkiriza kutaayaaya, bakuumira awaka. Tetukkiriza baana kutambula kwegatta n'abaana balala kubanga tetumanyi kiki kifa mu family ndala. Tukuume obuyonjo ng'okunaaba mu ngalo n'abaana baffe buli we kyetaagisiza we bayita tuteekewo amazzi ne sabbuuni, amazzi amayonjo ne sabbuuni. Abantu ffenna abato n'abakulu tukuume engalo zaffe nga nnyonjo. Bw'oba ogenda mu kifo kya lukale ng'akatale oba ekifo ekirimu abantu abangi omugulirwa ebintu, oba ogenze mu ddwaliro, fuba okulaba nti oyambala mask we yeetaagisiza. Kwegamba kituyambe nti twegattira wamu n'omukulembeze w'eggwanga n'eggwanga lyonna ne bannayuganda okulwanyisa ekirwadde kino. Mmanyi nti ebimu binyigiriza naye tetulina kyakukola. Bwe tuba nga tuli bakulwanyisa kawuka kano, tulina okwegatta awamu, okukwatiza omulimu awamu, tugobe akawuka. Abantu mubalabwe bwe batondoka mu mawanga amalala, tukyasobola okkiziyiza ne kitatuuka mu ggwanga lyaffe. Twagalane, twagale eggwanga lyaffe, n'ekisinga obukulu twekwase Mukama Katonda. Bannayuganda, tufune eddoboozi eryawamu mu kusaba n'okusiiba n'okwegayirira Katonda atusaasire, atutaase n'ensi yonna. Ku lwa Katonda n'ensi yange, Ssaabasajja Kabaka wa Buganda awangaale. Mukama Katonda abeere nammwe.
Stay home, stay safe. Brought to you by SK Mbuga Foundation, Africa.
Hey guys, you're watching STV. Select for fun.
Schools have been shut down for 32 days due to coronavirus pandemic. To keep your kids safe and educated, you don't have to get into your pockets. STV brings teachers to your living room. Select and learn with STV. Schools have been shut down for 30.
Yes, candidates and semi-candidates, welcome back from that short break. I wish we are still connected. Yes, like I was saying, we are having the 8 parts of speech as far as our English edition today is concerned. And we had, as we went for the short break, we had finished expounding more on nouns. And I did say that what I know, you must have looked at more about nouns, the types of nouns, formation of nouns, and plurals of nouns. I just took you through a brief way of how to form nouns. Now, let us look at some other part of speech called the adjectives. Still, because there are many, we are going to go through precisely and see how best the principles of each of the 8 parts of speech. So we are saying the adjectives. These are words which describe more about nouns. For example, a noun, village. Village is a noun. It's the name of a place. And we can say that village is good. James. James is the name of a person. We can say James is a very handsome boy. We can say building. That building looks so nice. So words like nice, beautiful, good, small, slender, slim, kind, those are adjectives. I know your teachers handled adjectives with you. So now we are expounding more on those adjectives. We have types of adjectives. Adjectives are grouped into different types. For now, I have around 4. We have what you call color adjectives. Definitely, those adjectives describe the color. If somebody says, you go out and pick for me a red pen, what does it mean? That when you go out there, you will not pick any other pen, you will pick the red one. What does it imply? It implies that it has been the color that has helped you to distinguish the pen, the red pen from other pens. Therefore, white is an adjective, red is an adjective. Look at quantity. Quantity is the many, more what? So, quantity. You talk about the number of things that make up the quantity of something, of the items you have. I have many balls with me. I have many friends with me. So much. Those are quantity. Then we have got quality. Quality adjectives. These ones describe the appearance of a noun. Good, bad. They talk about the state of a noun. Good, bad, there is quality. Then we have got demonstrative. Demonstrative, we shall have this, we shall have that, we shall have those. And these are demonstrative adjectives. Much as when you look at pronouns, we also have them as demonstrative pronouns. Why do we call them demonstrative? Because they do direct a particular attention towards someone. For example, that is a flask. Those are chairs. Those are clothes. These are my pencils. So those are what you call demonstrative adjectives. And when we look at pronouns, we can also call them demonstrative pronouns. It depends upon the usage. Where are you using them? Therefore, for now, we are using them as adjectives. So if somebody says, that man behaves well, is directing a particular attention towards that man. Therefore, those are adjectives. We are looking at verbs. When you go to some other before we go to verbs, we have adjectives as in degrees. We have got comparative, we have got superlative, and then positive. I know you must have looked at everything concerning about adjectives. Now I'm just taking you through some of them. So when we are talking about degrees of adjectives, we have the superlative degree, we have the comparative degree, and then the positive degree. So here we go with degrees. Degrees. We have the positive, we have the comparative degree, and we have the superlative. So each of the degrees suggests, when you say positive, it means we are having only one adjective, one noun. We are not comparing it with anything else. That is positive. So whenever you are talking about a positive degree, always we will call upon either article an or article a or article the at times. So article an or article a. Then comparative. The word comparative is an adjective itself, and it comes from the verb to compare, meaning that you are going to get two things and look at which one is better than the other, which one is more than the other, which one can I go with. So this is the comparative. It means that you are having two things. Therefore, whenever you are using the comparative degree, my dear good students, get to know that you are using two things to compare them. Take an example. Mary is more beautiful than Linda. Meaning that of the two girls, Mary is a little bit more beautiful than Linda. So the word beautiful and more are what you call adjectives. More being used to give a distinction between the two. And then beautiful, of course, that is what shows the quality. You can say, of the two girls, Babide is the thinner. Of the two girls, Babide is the thinner. Here, my good students, I want to tell you one thing. We all know that article that goes for the superlative. But this time round, the superlative the article that has been used in comparative. What does it mean? You better be careful. When they talk of the two girls, of the two chairs, of the two birds, they have told you already that you are going to put the given adjective in bracket into comparative, because they have already said of the two. Therefore, don't you think that article that works only for the superlative? It best works there, but there are instances where they can bring article that in comparative. And so note this. When they bring of the two girls, Babide is the dash. Just make the given adjective in bracket, make it comparative. And so it will be, of the two girls, Babide is the prettier. Of the two schools, my school is the better. Is the better. That is, if they give good in bracket, is the better. Don't say it's the best, because they have said of the two. I guess we are there. Now, when you go to the superlative deals with comparing more than 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a million. So when you are comparing more than 2, we shall go to that degree which you call the superlative degree. It shows the very best, the supreme, the cream. What is the best? If it's an idea, you are talking about the best idea. Therefore, when you are using the superlative, get to know that you are comparing more than 2. So, we shall have words like most, and then we shall have est. For the comparative, we shall have more, and then we shall have er added. Therefore, you need to know that even in adjectives, we have what you call regular adjectives and irregular adjectives. Therefore, for regular adjectives, we shall use the word we shall add er and also use the word more. For example, gracious, more gracious, most gracious. Kind, kinder, kindest. Beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. Intelligent, more intelligent, most intelligent. Innocent, more innocent, most innocent. So that variation. So those, whenever you come to issues of most, more, kindest, most beautiful, best, worst, you are dealing with degrees of adjectives, which are positive, comparative, and superlative. Like I told you, I'm just going through a little bit of them to give a clear picture about how they are tested. More about adjectives. When we shall look at structures, most structures are comparisons of adjectives. Most, where we use such a that, such that, so as, in order, like that, so that, all of those are comparing adjectives. Where we use very, to, so very and to show you the level or the extent at which something is done. So now that is as far as the adjectives are concerned. I want us to switch on to some other part of speech, and this one is none other than the verbs. The verbs. Sometime back we looked at verbs slightly because we are looking at tenses. So we are not going to waste a lot of time. We are going just to look at a few. So when we say the verbs as the other part of speech, a verb is just a doing word which commands man to do an action. Go, sit, stand, eat, play, write, talk, sing, teach. All of those are verbs. They command man to do an action. So you can say a verb is a doing word which commands man to do an action. Or rightly, P2, P3, P4 level, you can say a verb is a doing word. Okay, so the more you go advanced, the better words may get on, and the stiffer it may also become. So when we are in P2, we can say verbs are doing words. Are doing words. Then when we are in P6, P7, you can say verbs are doing words which command man to do an action. And this is proven, please. Because if you say stand up and go out, you are commanding man to get up and then move out. So actions are done. So they stress actions. Therefore, with the verbs, we are looking at actions that are done. And from there, we shall look at tenses. Tenses are times when actions are done, supported by the verbs. So here we have verbs. We have very many verbs. We have auxiliary or the helping verbs. We have the main verbs. We have the regular and irregular verbs. So we have regular verbs and irregular verbs. So we have regular, we have irregular, we have main or principal verbs, main verbs. We can call them principal verbs. We have auxiliary verbs, we have transitive verbs, and intransitive intransitive verbs. So these are types of verbs we have. We have regular verbs, irregular verbs, main verbs, auxiliary verbs, transitive verbs, and intransitive verbs. All of those are kinds of verbs. But then we can regroup them, regular and irregular. So regular verbs. What are regular verbs? Regular verbs are verbs which form their past tense and past participle by adding ed or d. So the thing is getting nasty, my dear students. So we are digging deep and deep and deeper. So we have what we call types of verbs that are here. There are 6 mainly. And then we have said the regular verbs. These ones form their past tense by adding ed or d. So when you come across a verb, a verb which has ed or d, that one is regular. An example: walk, walked; dance, danced; play, played; risk, risked; ask, asked; want, wanted. That is regular. Details of how do we add it, they are there. There are those that already end with the e, you just add the d. Those ones that, for example, move, it ends with the e, just add the d because already the e is there. Walk, it has no e, you just add ed. So that's why I stopped and I said you either add ed or d. So that is irregular verbs. And I'm sure by now you must have looked at that because it is P3, P4, P5 and P6, P7, we just make a refer to such. So we have irregular. Irregular, these are ones which form their past tense without ed. And still, some of them are also got a tie. So there are those that don't change. For example, cut, put, cost, telecast, broadcast, bust. Whether past tense or past participle, bust, cut, put, telecast, broadcast will remain the way it is. Or they are. They don't change. Now, we have those other verbs, for example, ring, swim, drink. We have spit. So these ones change according to the tense in which they are. So these ones will change. And they don't have ed or d at the end. So these are irregular verbs. And these ones are regular verbs. Auxiliary, main verbs, these are the want, the what, those are the main verbs. And then the auxiliary verbs, these are the helping verbs like is, are, was, were, have, has, and so on. Can, could, may, might. Those are called auxiliary verbs. The word auxiliary means helping. So these are the verbs that help the main or the principal verb. For example, if somebody says, he is eating food, is the helping verb. Eating is the main or the principal verb. Food is a noun. He is a pronoun. And the sentence shall be, he is eating food. Is has helped the main or the principal verb to carry sense. That's why we call them the auxiliary verbs. Now, from verbs, like I said, a verb is a doing word which commands man to do an action. After verbs, a teacher will take you to what, or took you to what we called tenses. Tenses. Sometime back, we handled tenses. I looked at some tenses. Though I was handling speeches, voices, that's why, and conditional clauses. So that's why I brought in tenses. But tenses are handled as a separate entity. So tenses, a tense is a time when an action supported by a verb is done. I repeat, a tense is a time when an action supported by a verb is done. Take for instance, if somebody says, I am writing now, the action is writing. When is he doing it? Now. Okay, so I am writing now is a sentence. What does it show? It shows that the action is going on at that particular period of time. So instances where actions are going on at that period of time, we call such instances or that tense as present continuous tense. Somebody may do actions every other day, daily, occasionally, sometimes, often, normally, usually. All of those are words which can express a present simple tense. So another tense is what we call the present simple tense. Present tense. We have present continuous. Present continuous. We have present perfect. Present perfect. We have present perfect continuous. Present perfect continuous. So perfect continuous. So we have three main tenses. We have three main tenses. These are A, present tense, present tense. B, past tense. And then C, the future tense. The future tense. Therefore, we are still on verbs. I told you when you are dealing with the verbs, verbs are of different types. And you cannot handle tenses before you look at verbs. So they are in a spiral movement. So from verbs, we went on and looked at tenses. Because you need to know how to form tenses. So we are saying these are verbs and these are the ways that we form verbs. Therefore, we went on to tenses. And we said a tense is a time when an action supported by a verb is done. And a verb is a doing word which commands man to do an action. I guess we have got a clear distinction between the two. What a verb is and what a tense is. A verb, I say again, is a verb is a doing word which commands man to do an action. And a tense is a time when an action supported by a verb is done. So here, when we come to tenses, we are more basically handling time when actions are done. I told you as I was starting that with English, we deal with the actions, what we always do, what we did some time back, what we shall do in future, what we sometimes do, or what we are doing at that time. So all that is the time pattern. Therefore, when we are dealing with the tenses, these are the major three. But each of these three has 4 forms. Each of these three has 4 forms. For example, if you take an example, when you talk about present tense has 4 forms. There are 4 forms of present tense. 1, we have the present simple tense. Number 2, we have the present continuous tense. Number 3, we have the present perfect tense. And finally, we have the present perfect continuous tense. Present simple tense deals with what we always do every day, or daily, or sometimes. And then present continuous tense deals with what is going on at that time. Present perfect tense deals with what has just been done, but the results are still evident. Some action has just gone on, and the results are still evident. For example, he has just slapped him, meaning that the one who has been slapped still even feels the pain, the anger. The actions has just gone on. Okay? So that is present perfect. And to note this, please. For present simple, you will see issues of es or s on the main verb. If the noun is in singular, the verb is in plural. And if the noun is in plural, the verb is in singular. Therefore, when you are expressing somebody playing football every day, other day you say, he plays football every day. When there are many, you say, they play football every day. Pronouns I, we, you, they, and even double pronouns, you and I. And even a noun and a pronoun, Mary and I. Mary and I. Mary and I take the noun, the verb in singular. You and I play football. Mary and I play football. Schools play football. My brothers play football. Therefore, you must note that is a present simple tense. We look at present continuous tense. Here we shall have ing ending. The main verb ending in ing. We have just taken an example. We said, I am writing a letter now. We are learning English now. We are eating food. Eating is the main verb in ing form, and so that is the present continuous tense. Helping verb here is and are. Note me well. Here, present simple tense, we add es or s to the main verb. Or even, we may not add that when we are using a plural noun. When the noun is in plural, the verbs are in singular. And when the noun is in singular, the verbs are in plural with es or s. And for present continuous tense, we shall use ing ending. And the helping verbs or the auxiliary verbs there shall be is and are. Is for singular pronouns and nouns, and then are for plural pronouns and nouns. We are going to present perfect tense, which expresses an action which has just been done. And probably the results are still evident. We are saying here we shall have has and have. Has and have are for present perfect tense. Take an example. He has just eaten food. He has just rang me. You need to note here that when your sentence has, have, and has, the main verb should be in past participle tense. The main verb should be in past participle tense. Take an example. He has just rang me. Rang is the verb in past participle. He has just eaten food. Eaten is the verb in past participle. We have just crept from there. Crept is the verb in past participle. The present perfect the present perfect continuous is like that. Then the present perfect continuous will have he has been eating. They have been eating. She has been dancing. Has been eating. Has been dancing is the present continuous tense perfect. Present perfect continuous tense. Has and have are the perfect helping verbs. And then ing continuous. He has been learning. That is the present perfect continuous tense. Therefore, whenever you come across sentences to tell you that tense, look at the helping verbs. If it is an R, that is present continuous tense and the verb in ing. If it ends with the es or s or without es, when the noun is in plural, that is present simple tense. And then when it has been or have been, and the verb in ing ending, that is present perfect continuous tense. I guess everybody is clear with what we call the tenses, more especially the present tense. Now we have another tense which we called the past tense. Still, like present simple present tense with the 4 forms. Present tense with the 4 forms. Also past tense has the 4 forms. Past tense expresses an action which was done some time back. It talks about issues of actions that were done a long time ago. We are going to look at the adverbs of time here. The adverbs of time. But before the adverbs of time of past tense, I need to tell you those adverbs of time of present tense. What's to do with usually, occasionally, sometimes, normally, always, daily. So these ones express the adverb of time, that it is present. Usually, sometimes, occasionally, always, normally, daily, every day, every Monday, Wednesdays. Okay? These ones express. These are what you call adverbs of time, telling us the time when the actions are done. So all these tell us the present simple tense time. So we are going to go for a short break to refresh our minds. I know COVID-19 is disturbing you there, but we shall run out of it. So now let us go for a rest. When we come back, we shall look at more other tenses. Thank you so much.
2 days due to coronavirus pandemic. To keep your kids, schools have been shut down for 32 days due to coronavirus pandemic. To keep your